Hello, welcome everyone. Today I'm playing another single player game of Wolfpack. Just getting everything set up here. It's a short game, basically, because the actually in this mission the ships are headed towards me, so I didn't have to chase them down, so it does make a shorter game. And now we're just getting set up here on U-96. I'm going to start as a sonar man. That way I can do a little bit of everything. I like to listen for myself and seek out the enemy. Let's get started. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is got my heading up there at 200. And I'm going to set my heading on the map here just to indicate, just have a reference to go back and look at where I start the game. Let's just do that real quick. Yeah, just playing around here. Just did a little blemish on the map here. I'll take that off here with the eraser. Alright. We need to get out now and have a look outside. Our periscope just to have a look around just to see if we're on top of the enemy already. I'm just going to do a quick look around here. Sometimes you'll start these missions and you're already in amongst the enemy ships, so it's always good to have a look around first. I guess you could do it either way. You could go ahead and dive. Wouldn't matter. I usually do it this way. These are my bots I'm using because I'm playing single player. It makes it just easier to play. We'll have us go ahead and dive to periscope depth. And let's have him go ahead and stop. You just want to get down below and stop, have a listen. It's real nice having the bots where you can just, because when I started this game it didn't have any bots and I was wanting to play single player and you always end up having to run around and do it all yourself, which is fun. It just makes it so much easier with the bots in the game now. I want to turn my gain up here to, please just turn it up around 8 to start. And just have a listen. Starting to pick up some prop sounds in the water there. Getting very loud. All this is so loud here, so what I'll do is I'll go past it where the sound drops and I'll turn my gain down to about 4. And then come back through and let's have another listen. Starting to get loud again. Just try to narrow down the area. 7 is very loud. Let's turn it down. Let's turn it down a little more. I believe these ships are very close. They're really getting loud right here around 60. R220 relative to my ship. The compass bearing is 60. So that'll be a good direction to look in before I even surface now, because they're very close sounding. So what I do is now take on my map, hold the shift key down, and this compass bearing at 220 will give me the 60 degrees where I'm looking at that direction. That's where I'm hearing the enemy convoy. Just put a mark there. Should put a time there as well. The timer. And there we go. There's our first sighting. We'll speed this up every now and then just to not make this such a long video. Let's get back here on our observation periscope and let's look in that direction. See if we see anything. 220. Zoom in. There he is. That's my very loud prop sound right there in the water. Kind of hard to tell what type ship, but he's in sight. Where there's one, there's usually some more. That's our sighting. I will get the periscope back up and look again because I need to look for those others. And I'm going to try to guesstimate their course. Oh yeah, this guy here, 220. Nothing with 230. Oh, there's two more. Now we see three. Still a good ways off. I need to kind of plot it, go to my map and plot that there. And then I'll usually try to guesstimate their course line. Let's put a mark on the map out there at the 215. Out where I think I see him out that way. I'll pull this one in a little bit. I'm just trying to look on the map as I'm guesstimating their course line as well. Put an X there. Let's try to figure out his course line, just approximation. I think they're doing about 250. Just looking through the scope. Looks like about 250 to me, so that's where I'm going to put here. I'm going to want to turn 90 degrees into that. Let's make those marks. That way give me a course line for intercept. Put me doing a course of 340 intercept. 90 degrees off their course of 250. All right, let's try to get him to set us on a course of 340. everything's set for 340 now. Let's start moving. Start off with a half speed. You climb to the top. It's easier to get off in this conning tower. If you climb to the top, start down with S and just right click. Now I'm on the attack periscope. Advantage of this periscope is at the bottom it shows the actual heading. The top is relative to our ship here. I'm looking at it. These headings here. A while ago, I think he was 50. They are moving. I will calculate their speed, and first I need to identify somebody. That's what I'm doing now, having a look. As I'm turning around to the 340 to intercept this course line with their course line. 90 degrees, which will make it easy for me to set my angle on bow, and you'll see that shortly. Still turning here. Might bump the speed up a little bit, I'm not sure. Still turning on that 340 course line. As you can see, I'm the gray triangle down there to the left. I'm on the heading at 340 now. You can see I'm headed straight toward the 250 line up there. I'll just erase some of this junk. I know where I'm going now, so. My 340 back on there clean again. Turning the timestamp off, I don't need that now. Put a line out toward the direction where I see them coming, around 70 or so. Alright, still hitting 340, 340, and I'm just turning here to we'll come to a stop now. Little peep at my map. Let's have a look over here at them again. And it's time to start. Well, we have a lot of time. Still have a lot of time left. Let's try to figure out what we're looking at. So we can start entering our information in our TDC. halved. Looks like it's a mass funnel. Put that in here. And it looks like to me it's one of these bottom two here. Let's try to determine that. That's this ship here I'm looking at. Looking at the stack. Looking a lot like medium tanker 34 to me. We'll add it to our identified ships. Start with this one. We could start ahead and putting the info in, but this one looks closer. This one will be different because those H towers on there are actually cranes, which are known as kingpins. That's one of the trawlers. That one should be kingpin funnel for him. No islands, doesn't appear to have any islands. It's pretty flat. Will help a lot once I put that kingpin funnel in. I'm not seeing the ship right here. Because it's still looking for mass funnel. Kingpin funnel. Boom, one ship. There he is. That's him. This is going to be our first target ship. We'll add him to the identified. All right. Turning this back to 0. 90 degrees. I want to set my angle and bow and all. Start putting some information in my TDC. And pair it with my attack periscope here. I'm to their left. So when I'm looking at 0, that's 90 degrees bow left. Light. How close he is. Seeing 2 right now. 2 Centurions. (26) 5,200 meters. So he's 5,200 meters from me right now. He'll be getting closer to closer. Further he comes along here, he'll be getting closer. we'll need to put that 144 in, the length of the ship. It's draught 6 meters, that's how far he sits below the water. I'm gonna put him about 4. That way I know I'm not too low. Just like that. 5,200. We'll come back and reset this as he gets closer. That's the distance. Right now, 5 minutes, 34 seconds. If I was to fire now, I'm not gonna fire yet. See how fast he's going first. So you start with the crosshair at the front of the ship, start your timer, and let it run to the end of the ship and stop it. Let's see what we get. We want to figure out his speed, knots. .39. So you want to take this 37.39 and divide it into the length of his ship, which is 144. When you get that number, you're going to double it, multiply it times 2. Should give you 7.7 knots is his actual speed. And as you see, the whole time he's getting closer. Let's put this in the speed 7.7. Watch the time to impact. Changes. Knocked a minute off right there. And just waiting on him to get closer. Now he's a bit closer now. I'm seeing 3 centurions. Puts him right around 35. Double checking here. Just right at 3 with the water line up from the water line. Knows how he moves and the time to impact changes. A while ago when I first said it was 310, now it's showing 313. And getting ready to fire this first torpedo. About center I should fire it. Start the timer, there you go. 313 to impact. And let's set up for this guy. It's about 4. He's further away. Mass height 39. 4 centurions. It's about 38, 39. Around in there. See, my bow angle's already set because when I turn to 0 on my ship, set it for left 90 degrees. When I turn back, and it's already figured in. That's just the distance, mainly. There's the second torpedo fired. And this guy, he's actually closer to me. Kind of weird looking when you look at the identified ships because it doesn't. This is the closest one with the mast and tower opposite positions on it. It's got to be him because that's the only one I see. He's a requisition trawler. He will actually he's armed. If you surface, he will fire on you. And he will sink you. Let's try to get lined up for him. 19, see, he's a lot closer, about 25. This is the one I made a mistake on. Let too much time lapse because he was moving the whole time. Once I put everything in and when I fired, too much time had lapsed, so throws my shot off on this one here. Should have checked him again. And I think I didn't know what. Look back at the video. It looks like I didn't have my horizontal crosshair on the water line when I actually measured him. There's my first hit, first torpedo. 313. Right on the money. So that's one hit out of 3. Haven't fired this one yet. My last ship. Change to torpedo 2, back to torpedo tube 1. See, I got it here. I fired, but it's been so much time lapsed since I actually checked his distance. That was my mistake there. Lesson learned. We'll make mistakes. I think that one was like 3 minutes 30 seconds, 3 minutes 33, something like that. He's getting close and wasn't really paying attention. Wouldn't be a bad idea to write down the times for each torpedo, especially if you change the distance. Because now I'm looking at him again to recalculate another shot on him. While I'm doing that, you'll see what happens here. Boom, I hit him. It's right on the money. I will point out another big mistake I made here. Hit those two, but it's on this third ship. You notice he's done changed course. He's turning. So being that he's turned, which I didn't recognize right away. I mean, I did recognize he's turned, but I didn't think right away. The fact that he turned like this, he just changed the angle on bow for me. It's natural just to think, just to turn and look that way, put the X on him and shoot. But now that he's turned off the course line, which he was doing the 250, he's on a totally different course line now. So I will waste torpedoes on him. Because I wasn't thinking when I was playing the game. This is actual, I'm coming back and reviewing after I played the game. And just watch me waste a torpedo on this guy. And it will not hit. Not thinking. Still looking at distances and all this. The other two are done. To get my 15,000, I will have to sink this guy. And I will show you what you have to do it. Once I figured out I'm making mistakes, I'm dialing in the torpedoes just to waste it. Not thinking. There it is, there's the wasted torpedo, because his course line is totally different. So I'm going to speed up to where I figured out what's going on and how to resolve it. So I figured out what I needed to do was to basically, I need to figure out his course line again. And the best way to do it now, I let him pass. Now I'm in behind him and I'm just trying to get behind him. We're gonna work on getting his course line figured out here. There I am behind him, still working on getting his course line. Not spot on with him. And notice I am still at full speed. This smokestack height. That's what I'm doing, looking at the smokestack height, trying to determine about how far I am from him. Whether he's pulling away from me, staying with him, or what I'm doing here. He's one centurion at 10. I just set this. I don't know if it really matters, and now that what I'm doing, 210 is his course line. So all I have to do, from his point of view, set it at 180 because I'm directly behind him. Fire my shot. Let's start the timer. And we're both moving. I'm not sure how fast he's going now. I'm doing about 8 knots, but I fired this one on the move. And I'm still trying to determine how far away, if I'm gaining or what I'm doing with him here. Full speed torpedo shot. Straight behind him. Angle on bows of 180 degrees. That's if he was looking at me, I'm on his 180, so that's what you want to put on the TDC. Put his torpedo depth at 2, because he's only 3, I think, this drought. And let's follow this guy and hope for the best. Still checking that distance. Looks like I am gaining on him a bit. Just a little. I think the first reading was 1. I see a little bit more than 1 there now. Boom, there it is. That's the money-making shot. That's what you wanted to do. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, give me a like. I'll plan to make some more as soon as I get something interesting. So I'm surfacing here. It's coming to the end of our video. I'll give you the stats. But I got all three. This one was the hardest because he changed course on me. Took me a moment to realize or think about what I'm doing. Once I figured it out, everything came into play. And there you have it. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you around.